Hi everyone, welcome back to Grapholistic Podcast. I hope you have been doing great today. In this episode, we will explore further to the next phase, which is called Phase 2. Phase 2 is changing bad habits. What do we consider as bad habits? Your bad habits might not be the same like your co-workers, your partners, or others. For this phase and practice, you still have to self-reflect and observe what are the behavior you are currently doing, which is considered as bad habits. That is, the consequences and the effect of doing it is negative and not worth it. I'm not talking about what your partners or the people around you are saying about your bad habits. You have to actually self-reflect this and identify yourself. For instance, if your goals were to spend more quality time with your family, what is currently preventing you to do this? Is it that you always go home late at night, and by the time you reach home, everyone is already asleep? And why are you home late? Is it because you have so many work to do in office? If yes, why? Can it be done right on time? Before 6 p.m.? If not, why? Is it because you are procrastinating? Is it because you tend to spend time chatting with your colleagues instead of doing your work? Is it because you are surfing the internet or watch YouTube during office hours? Is it because your boss kept you late? Or is it because you would like to show off to your boss and your colleagues that you are hardworking and therefore stay late at night? Or your manager is giving you work at last minute? Or you intentionally want to be home late? So there are so many questions here. You have to dig deeper. What is the cause of your bad habits? It could be what are the causes of your bad habits that could affect your lifestyle, preventing you from spending quality time with your family. So normally when I coach individuals to improve themselves, I will make sure we dig deeper to the reason of why and why. Digging deeper into what they actually want and what are the behavior or results which is meaningful to them. So this leads to the first step of phase 2, which is putting your thoughts, imagination, and plans into actions. Small steps are fine as long as you start. Remember that. This phase does not entertain the process of just talking without doing. If you have this trait and is dominant in your personality, put it aside and you have to focus and really do this in action. What you're trying to say here is that first step is to do it. Because if you say that you wanted to do something, if you say that you want to become a writer, what is the first step? You cannot just say, oh, I don't have any idea to write something. Go, do the first step. Doesn't mean you don't have any idea. There will be no idea forever, isn't it? So what you have to do is just take a pen, write something. You can write about your day-to-day. You can write about someone whom you are analyzing or judging, but you write in a diary, or you write something about your emotion, your feelings towards a person. So start, just do it, okay? Don't worry about the failures, because you see, you write, what kind of failure you will expect? Nothing, right? It's not like you are investing $100,000 for a stock, which I believe that you will have, that one you have to think about it, right? So when you are writing, what kind of failure would you expect by writing the first few pages? There's nothing that you will fail. Don't give that kind of excuses, all right, to yourself. So treat yourself well. So go back to this. Let's go back to this. The first step, firstly, is to check what you are not good at. I am going straight to the weaknesses because in reality, this is usually what happens. After that, phase 1, what do you notice about your daily behavior and practice that makes you just feel demotivated and don't want to do those things that you plan? For example, what I meant by result of bad habit is, for instance, when I was in primary school, I was very weak in English, science, and mathematics. Wait, before I proceed, I want to highlight that I was good at all this with marks around 70 to 85 from primary 1 to primary 3, but my performance declined after that. So the daily behavior and practices that motivates me is this. Like I mentioned in earlier episodes, there is this phase when I felt very heavy, lethargic, and sometimes feels uncomfortable towards myself and hated the people around me. So like going to tuitions didn't make any difference for me. The only reason that I looked forward to going to tuition was to have their fried sausage during breaks. That is all. Then after school, instead of studying or revising, I will play downstairs with my friends, my brother, and I always told my dad I had done my homework, but instead I copied from my friends the next day. I had a timetable, which my dad used to teach me and my brother how to plan and use it, but well, like I said, I did, but I didn't. And what I meant about doing those things I planned basically when I failed those exams, this is not anymore about whether I am not smart or intelligent. It has something to do in putting in effort of what I was supposed to do as a student, the responsibility as a student, but I didn't. So putting in effort is putting everything into actions, all right? That is the most, it's actually easy, but I feel like that is the most challenging. So after identifying the weaknesses, I focused on those and gradually changed, and I kept practicing it like on repeat. The actions are like this. I started to read books like novels and some non-fiction, do assessment books and comprehension, practice writing essays to improve my English language. For maths, I kept practicing problem sums and finished the assessment books. Memorize formulas and learn how and when to use those formulas in problem sums. For science, same thing. Practice and try to understand what everything means, how those physics and chemical formula works. While doing this, you will be wondering what are the bad habits that I change or remove 100%, which leads to the next stage, which is the step 2 of this process. Firstly, was my playtime. Instead of playing 3 to 4 hours daily after school, naturally, I ended up not playing anymore that much. Whenever my friends asked me out to play badminton or the playground, I told them I can't. I didn't tell them why though, because like I said, I prefer not to tell people in detail. Second habit was watching television. If I remember correctly, I stopped watching TV immediately. It's not by force this time. I did it on my own will. Third was I did all my homeworks without fail. This was like one of my best achievements during that time. Fourth was to be on time to school and not miss any remedial after school classes and any classes. Concentrate in class. When they say concentrate, means concentrate, not just like physically there, but mind is everywhere. When I say concentrate means I don't think about what I want to eat after school, what I want to do after school. So all this happens right after the preliminaries, primary 6, and I had 4 months before the final PSLE. So it's basically a very short period, but this is what happened. Step 3 is to adopt to healthier habits. I am jumping straight to another example and another phase of my life because of what really happened and what has really happened. When I started my secondary 1 phase, I started to exercise. By the way, I was also in the National Police Cadet Corps, which is the NPCC. Training for stamina every morning, like running, push-ups, and then marching made this step like a compulsory thing to do. I was overweight when I was in primary school and then becoming fitter gradually. And of course, with a healthier mind and body, I was more active in my physical activities in school, like when we play soccer and captain ball and gym stuffs. This was when it all started, my inclination to build my interpersonal skills. Step 4 is another healthy habit which I adopted to and become my go-to daily, which is time management. Don't underestimate time management. I did mention this in episode 2. So what I did is I still plan my time every day, and I still am doing it even after 20 years. So I uses this concept when I was planning for my PSLE exam. This time, everything is at my own will. If whenever you feel like procrastinating, studying at home make you sleepy, bring your things downstairs under the block, at the park, or in the library. Do your revision there. I did try this method and it helped, but I do it alone. I don't work with my friends. I don't study with my friends. Please make sure, of course, be at a safe place, lit up area. All right. Remember the method used in phase 1 in episode 2, that when we write something, high probability we will do it. Structuring your time management is the same. I adopt this habit in my working life. Every day, I will make sure I write what I plan to do on that day. Now, I am working to build my own businesses. Every Monday, I will write what I plan to do the whole week on 5 pieces of post-it pad. Okay? Sometimes I will do it on a Friday for the next week plans. Then I will paste it in front of my monitor. After I complete every task, I will tick it with a red pen. This then leads us to the next step in changing bad habits, which is to reward yourself. Step 5 is to reward yourself for any successful goals you have done, even though it is as simple as reading 5 pages of the book you just bought. Why? Because to sit down and ignore text messages and social media updates for 30 minutes to focus on just reading is very, very challenging nowadays. So, by ticking the tasks you plan to do during the day is considered an achievement, you will be satisfied with what you had done and managed to endure it. Listen, everything you are doing, make sure it is not dragging you. I'm telling you this, but it is happening in a long duration, meaning that when I found out about this when I was in primary 6, it takes me about 4 months. Yeah, that one is very fast, okay? But when you are setting like long-term goals, make sure that those goals does not drag you towards it. Meaning that after you set goals, remember this, that it is supposed to be something that you plan, you seed it. And for me, I put it like at the back of my mind. After I say I want to do this, but I just like, okay, be it there, all right? Then I will not be stressful. I will not stress myself to go towards that. As long as it doesn't drag you. Once it is dragging you, stop, okay? Because you have to feel lighter and satisfied after doing all these phases. You have to enjoy it because this is your life, all right? These steps and processes which I shared with you should not be a burden. If you feel like a burden, I suggest that you stop doing it. Go take a break. Walk at the beach. Listen to music. Be by yourself. Watch a movie by yourself. Eat at a restaurant by yourself. Relax. And then the next day, on the day after, feel it in your heart and let your mind wander and imagine moments that will make you happy. It can be something you have already done before or something you imagine yourself doing it and satisfies you. Because if not, however you make your timetable colorful, but if you feel it like it is a burden, I bet you will not enjoy doing it. All the steps which I have covered in this phase 2, you might be thinking, yeah, you can say whatever you want because you have a comfortable family life. You do not need to think about working to support your family. All right, why I highlighted this, because recently I did a webinar with like a polytechnic student. So I think there's one question I saw, something regarding does your family income affect your decision to become an entrepreneur? And I think I need to highlight this. I didn't answer that question as one of the panelists actually answered the question. Okay, I'm going to tell you this. Just to tell you about my family background, I grew up in a middle-income family. So my dad has to work a full-time job at one of the telecommunication company in Singapore. And then when he returned home at 5:30 p.m., he will drive taxi till middle of the night as a part-time work to support the family. 3 to 4 times a week. My mom at the time worked in a semiconductor factory until I was like in secondary 1, if I'm not wrong. And then she became a full-time housewife. So basically, we have basic needs and lives in a moderate, comfortable household. So that is also the reason when I dream of studying till PhD and have a good career is because I want to make sure my family life improve. So this is like a push for me. But we did have like a comfortable, means like if we want to eat something, there is food, okay, on the table. So not to worry about that. My dad didn't force me and my brother in terms of anything we are doing. I have heard stories from my friends, how their parents sometimes push them to score A's in all subjects and all. The way my dad encouraged me to study is by telling me or asking me what is my target for my exams. For instance, if I fail a subject, he will ask me, what is my next target for the next exam? Then when I said I will make sure I pass, he will ask, what marks are you aiming for? Then if I cannot answer, and most of the time I didn't answer, he will ask, is 65 okay for you? Or 60 okay for you? I don't remember him asking if 75 is okay for me. I believe that he did not want to stress me out or be disappointed when I failed. For myself, I think for him also probably he don't want to be disappointed when I fail, but I don't think he's that type. So during that primary school, most of the time I failed, like I said, I think motivated me. But then naturally, when I set my own targets and I did everything on my own, starting from PSLE to secondary school and beyond, I turned out to be like in top 10 and then top 5 and then top 3 in class. Remember, I have been failing my exams for maths and English during primary 4 to 6. In secondary 3, I had the highest score in school overall for mathematics. If I remember correctly, it was 98. I think 2 points higher than the usual top student for maths during that time. And gradually, when I was in secondary 4 for my N-level exam, I kept telling myself, and also in my prayers every day, I said I want to be in top 3 in school for my N-level exam. Guess what? I did achieve that. I was the top third student in school with 3 points aggregate for the top 3 subjects, Geography, Malay and Science with grade 1. As for my O-level, I had total 12 points for all subjects, making me be in the top 10 in school and first in class, and with the option to go to, I think, junior college. It's junior college or polytechnic, but I chose polytechnic. And having that choice is actually a good sign during that time in terms of academic wise. I am not sure whether I was surprised that I did it. I think it's more of wow, those goals and prayers did work out. So why am I telling you about my school marks? Apart from I am grateful of my achievements, I want you to know that whatever I am sharing here is not just bubbles of motivational speech without successful evidence and results. It is a true story, okay? And if my story could motivate you now, I will be very delighted that another dream of mine is achieved. That last step on rewarding yourself, please remember to do this step. After any small or huge achievements, doesn't matter, okay? Go and play your video games, go for a movie, enjoy your day with your friends, do anything you want to do. If you want to eat ice cream, go eat ice cream. If you want to watch TV, go and watch TV, alright? Don't think about anything anymore after that. Relax, chill, and enjoy your time. So, for you have to ask yourself, what is pushing you to do what you want now? If you are not from a well-to-do family, you still have to ask yourself, what is important now and what would you need to do to change it? And when you tell yourself that you want to change it to the better, most of the time, like I said, you will be like a magnet to those surrounding you. You will not give yourself this reason that your family couldn't afford to pay for your school fees. You will find ways to solve this issue, especially if you are really interested in educating yourself. Because sometimes, even if your dad could afford to pay for your school fees, but if you are not interested, you will decide to drop out and give that excuse that it is wasting your time or your money to pay for your school fees. I am saying this based on what happened to some of the friends, acquaintances, and even family members I know. If you are in school right now listening to this and you would like to continue your studies, but your parents could not afford to pay for your tuition fees, please discuss this with your teacher. Do not give up or drop out of school just like that and play truant. Being educated is important, and please don't tell me or give an excuse to yourself about how successful people like Bill Gates is, even though he dropped out of school. Then I will tell you this. Bill Gates didn't drop out of primary or secondary school. In fact, he was a national merit scholar when he left his school. He dropped out of Harvard Law School because he was taking a course that he didn't like, but what his parents wanted him to take. But meanwhile, at that time, he was already doing computer science, which he is more interested in. So, don't ever give yourself an excuse or let other people tell you the stories about billionaires like Bill Gates dropping out of school but still ended up as a billionaire. You don't need to study, or your relatives telling you, or your uncle or your aunt telling you that why study so high when at the end you are going to stay in the kitchen, Shut that up, okay? Just shut everything up, alright? Shut those things. Ask yourself, what do you want? Learn to understand about yourself first, okay? What you like and any other interest that you are keen in can be done in parallel with your education. Meaning that if you, for instance, you are interested in videography, or if you are interested in certain sports, okay, you want to become a national player or whatsoever, but you can do parallel with your education. That is why they have like sports schools in Singapore, or I believe in other countries they have like a sports school or whatever school that is other than the normal secondary or primary school or even polytechnic. So you can do both in parallel. It's okay. Doesn't matter. You can try. Manage your time. It is possible, okay? It has been done by many people in the world. It has been done by me personally. It can be done. Just tell yourself that, no, you have to first ask yourself whether that's what you want, okay? And then, if you fail a subject, try one more time again. If you fail your driving test, do it again. Practice first, then do the second time, alright? Don't just go and don't go straight to the second time without practice. Don't waste your time. I want to take this opportunity to shout out to a secondary school classmate and friend of mine. She sat beside me when we were in secondary 4 and 5. She failed her maths during O-level, and because of that, she couldn't go to the next phase, which is the polytechnic or junior college. So what she did was, one of our teachers in school, he was not even our maths teacher during that time. He spent his time to teach her after that year. She, I think, approached him and asked, or he volunteered to help her. If I am not wrong, they have this private study or something before retaking the exam with an institution. What happened is, this friend of mine was also very keen to pass the exam this time. We did talk to each other after I graduated first from secondary school, and she told me about it, and I think I did give some motivation. So I said, go ahead, don't give up, just do it. Then she passed her maths a year later and got into the nursing course she has been wanting to apply for. I did tell her personally how I was so proud of her determination and willpower to try one more time, because there are so many other examples of other friends of ours who just give up after failing their O-level, just give up like that. I mean, yeah, that's their own life, but giving up is, don't give up, please. And she didn't even give excuses of how she is not good and so no chances to pass again, So she did it. When she did one more time, she got it done and she passed. The things that you will see, experience, and learn in the educational institutions will not only be about memorizing formulas and problem sums. Yes, those are considered not applicable sometimes when we are working. But, however, most of the times, those skills like presentation, building self-confidence when speaking in class, conversation, socializing skills, learning to understand people, managing and overcoming your stress and challenges in school. So in reality, this helps you to build your character. Listen, talk to your teachers. They are educators, and for sure they would want their students to succeed. And I believe they definitely will help you in some way if tuition fees are an issue to you. Definitely there is a means to support whatever you need. Alright, that is it for this episode. I look forward that you find this episode valuable and worth your time. If you have any feedbacks and questions or stories to share, you can send to me an email at grapholistic@yahoo.com. Meanwhile, I will end this episode here. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next episode. To watch this recorded podcast, behind the scenes videos, and any videos summarizing the process related to this podcast and also related to handwriting analysis and graphology, you can visit our YouTube channel or visit www.grapholistic.com. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Bye-bye.